Howdy, of you delicious people. I'm here today to play more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Madness. Ultimately, more than likely, today's gameplay will probably be like a pre-recorded thing that'll probably come out on a different day, just because I have another pressing thing to go out that is also gameplay. More than likely, I don't know if that gameplay is gonna do anything, but yeah, it's just it is what it is. But today we're gonna be playing this, and then we're gonna get out of here. So luckily enough, I'm sure a lot of people might like want this series like every day, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe there'll be one day where I think I almost kind of do this every day. But then there's sometimes where there's other gameplays that are kind of like, oh, I want to get this done or I want to push this out. Because there's some continuing series that I'm still doing, like Marvel Strike Force, which is kind of a really fun series when you accomplish things. If you don't accomplish anything in that series, you're just like, God, why did I waste like an hour or 2 hours or a couple hours of my time playing that? But going into this game, I feel like I feel great about the this overall. It's really fun to play. Yeah, there's probably times where I do get frustrated, but when looking at it as a whole, like I feel good about the game most of the time. So I had just done via a exchanging of resources gotten Mona Lisa. I don't know Mona Lisa. She looks kind of cool, so I probably at some point want to figure out who Mona Lisa is, because ultimately, again, that's probably from one of the later seasons of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, still. I got into the Tick. If you guys had probably saw one of any of the other series or things that I did, I watched the Tick. I watched the first season of that, and so now like I'm ultimately just going, okay, well, yeah, probably should get back into. Uh, I think the real reason why I'm kind of negating going back into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the cartoon is just because it's most of the time just much easier just to watch movies and then just to have that as a thing out there instead of just going, oh, let's do a show and hope that it's a short enough show that I can just like get that out there. Um, but yeah, let's collect a hero drive, which I'm sure is not a new character that don't already have. Yeah, Leatherhead. All right, so that's fine. Cause yeah, where is it? Yeah, I did this offer here because I had a lot of these little gold jewel thing ash like things, so I just got her because I'm like, yeah, actually looks she looks like a pretty cool character. God, I'm going now. Hear me now. I'm getting back into the show. I'm gonna get back into it. Recently after probably this recording is over, I am I'm probably gonna do one of two things. I wanted to watch one of two movies, Howard the Duck or Vampire Kiss, and which is a Nicolas Cage film. It's a very goofy film, and probably for who knows who's with this audience. Yeah, it's a very goofy movie. But anyways, and I want to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I think reasonably, I think those movies are probably gonna take a back seat for the day, for one day, and for me to just kind of start like, kind of slowly but surely going into some TMNT episodes. So uh, Mona Lisa is at almost 60 right now, and so yeah, because reasonably, I kind of really want to use these other characters sometimes because I ultimately don't want to use the turtles every time. Or I think a lot of people just kind of get like, I want to see other characters, just besides the turtles. I just want to see other people getting used in this and that because a lot of people could just be like, no, I want to see just turtles all the time. No, I'm sure probably a lot of people are like, no, we want to see difference of gameplay, which is fine, because I'm not just stubbornly like, I only want to use four people, and if I can't use those four people, I don't want to play. Yeah, just keep banging it out. Keep mowing down them folks. Genghis is great. Genghis is the man. I am not gonna watch that ad because again, I don't want to pause here and like that's the only reason why I just don't want to pause through this playthrough every time to watch an ad. I could. It's an easy thing to do, but I just don't want to do it. It's just like I don't want to watch an ad while I'm doing a playthrough. There were several times where I do other playthroughs where I'd have to watch like 30 ads to get to one thing, and like I never want to have to forcibly pause a playthrough to watch an ad. But more than likely, once this game starts probably really kicking off, then all of a sudden, absurdly, there'll just be ads like popping in all the time. I'm sure because that's what happens with every game. It's just like that's what sucks. It's just like when you really try to do like a playthrough on something and you're just like, oh yeah, this is great that I can do this playthrough and then not have ads, and then like you're playing it one day and you're like, oh crap, there's like an ad coming up every single time I beat a level. There's an ad that pops up every single time I uh, I fight somebody. Man, still going good with that Genghis. That gold frog of mine. Smooches, Genghis. Just smooches. And then eventually, at some point, when I stop doing well, I'm immediately gonna blame Genghis. Like, Genghis, you sultry frog, you sultry toad, you, whichever you are. Because I don't remember that episode. Uh, yeah, because here's the thing. Like, the place of which that I'm watching these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episodes, because again, I don't want to bust out the discs. I don't want to do any disc thing. I had the entire series, but I just don't want to do the discs. Again, I'm trying to do everything in a convenient, easy flowing way of doing things, which ultimately it would just be easier if I just did the discs. But I'm finding an app, watching the turtles, and and yeah, that one episode, yeah, that got like bizarrely like that one episode, like got bizarrely like cut in half to where I couldn't see the entire episode. So I was like, what the heck? It's like, so I think I only got to see like the first half of the episode. So I gotta go back. I gotta see that second half. See that sweet, delicious second half. Let me see what happens when we. Now you watch. It's gonna be at the worst time, but I'm almost close to getting her up to 60. Almost very close. You know what? I'm gonna throw in some characters now. I'm gonna just throw in because I think I'm doing like I think I'm gonna throw out Genghis or no, I'm gonna keep Genghis, but I'm gonna throw out other people. So who is low enough? Who is low enough? It's probably gonna be Donnie. Probably Donnie in April. So let's mix in let's mix in Lisa and let's see what happens when we have two frogs together. Let's see what happens. Wonder if they have any weird, bizarre like cohesions or something. Are we gonna do well in this level? I hope so, because I put some two lesser. Well, Genghis, are we still rolling? Dang, man, we have lower characters and Genghis is still pulling it off. Genghis is still rocking it. But we don't have that boss fight yet, so I think that's why we're fine. That's why we're fine technically. Um I want to see if that is going to get Lisa up to 60. Why, yes it is. All right. So she's up to 60. Probably gotta. God, I gotta get to these characters too. I gotta get to these. I got to get to Leatherhead, and I gotta get to Baxter. Because again, side part of. I don't really use them much here, but I use them like they're kind of good to use in other modes. I don't. I still don't know what this is. I still don't get what this is. Like, yeah, it upgrades your characters. 51. Where am I at for oh, I can claim things. I forgot. I can claim. Okay. So, where am I at for 665? 665, 665. Well, I'll probably I don't know if it'll matter if I watch that thing or not. That watch. So I think I'm gonna keep Lisa in here, and I gotta keep Mikey, but I'll take Napoleon out, and I'll mix in. Let's go with Baxter. I don't use him that often, cause I never really liked the Baxter character because ultimately I had his action figure, but never liked the guy. Weirdly enough, like I think like there was some times where I would use like like when I was a kid, I luckily like got some pretty decent amount of action figures. Uh, thankfully for a lot of holidays and whatever. So reasonably, like I would usually have like for every like character that I didn't know from certain shows, like they would always be like I would always play most of the time I'd always play like Power Rangers. So whatever monstrous looking character was like for like any other like series of something that I had. Normally I would take that monster action figure out, and it would normally be like the Power Rangers villain for that day or whatever. Um, and a lot of times when I would start to lose like certain sections or certain um because at one point I think I had like the Power Rangers command center, and that eventually at some point got either broken or lost or whatever. Like I think at some point I had like the like I would adjust and or change like story of whatever like leftover stuff that I would have um to make like a different kind of Power Rangers like setting, which was kind of fun to do. Um because ultimately it's like, oh well, I just have this toy left. I just had this toy left. So I would just customize a different toy to change and make a different like Power Ranger story for that day, because ultimately it's like, hey, just reuse your toys. Might as well you reuse them if you have all of them. Um, so it was always kind of like you would take with whatever you had, and like yeah, you would just adjust. Because a lot of times like there's sometimes when yeah you would have stuff at some points, but like a lot of times for me we would move when I was younger, we would move constantly. So uh like we would kind of move from several different locations and stuff like that, which is always fine. um but then eventually you would just lose stuff, uh or eventually you just have to just get rid of stuff just because it's like, well, it doesn't fit here anymore, so I guess we're gonna have to just give this away. Or ultimately, there's several times where it would just be like, hey, yeah, I don't remember whatever happened to this, and it's just like, oh, well, it's just gone. It's like, oh, okay, well, all right, well, um, now I'll just do this. Like, I'll adjust, like, whatever characters I got left. Like, that is my thing now. I'm gonna come up with some kind of story, and like you adjust with the toys you have, and whatever. And for me, like I never really thought about like rebuying back any of the toys of my childhood. Uh, well, that's not true. There's some that I have that ultimately were like Power Ranger stuff. Like I have a couple of Tommy action figures, which were from or have have as a question mark. I don't know about uh but I have quite a bit of stuff from certain points of like hey, yeah, I remember this action figure, so I want to like keep it as just like a keepsake or whatever. But um yeah, it's just kind of in a way of just kind of keeping up a certain collection. But recently a lot of the stuff is just all just like whatever I was into during that time period. If I was all of a sudden just in a mood to watch like a certain series, then I'll just be like, oh yeah, like how about I just pick up this action figure that's like dirt cheap on some eBay or some Amazon or something, but it was easy to do. It's easy because it was cheap. It was still cheap, still good, still cheap. So okay, with this being a boss fight, we just can't throw anybody out there. We gotta pull back. We gotta get our big guns. We gotta get a big gun out. Get a big gun. Get a big gun. Let's get Splinter out there. Even though I probably use him enough, still, it's just let's get him out there. Let's see what happens. Maybe we might lose this fight because Splinter's out there, but I'd rather have Splinter out there than Leonardo or Donatello, because at least they can quasi do something. And then watch Splinter will. Yeah, I was like, yeah, you watch Splinter's gonna croak it, and immediately after I said that, is this the one time Genghis goes down? Seriously? This is the one time Genghis is not a Hangus? Wow, Genghis went down. I'm not blaming Genghis though. That was a like he was on his own, just holding his own. It's like I'm gonna live forever. All right, so let's pull. Obviously, who do you think I'm gonna pull? I'm gonna freaking pull Donnie. Donnie. I'm not pulling Genghis. He's not getting pulled. I'm keeping him out there. He's a good guy. Let's. God, why is Donnie more powerful than Leonardo? Oh yeah, that's right. Cause well, either one of them are just ducks, ducks in a row. Let's see what happens when we do this. Yeah, Genghis. Genghis getting it. Getting it Genghis. Getting it Genghis style. Getting it Genghis style. He's gangsta. Rolling down the streets. Sipping on Genghis and juice. Oh, that was a random one in there. So rando. Seems like we're lasting. As I probably say that and then I'm gonna regret it. Believe me, it's gonna happen. The gang is still here. Good grief. This went surprisingly better than I thought it would. Wow. The Genghis is real. The Genghis is real. Just you gotta find the right characters to go with the Genghis, and it's all good. It's all good. The unstoppable Genghis. You can't get a character like that. He's just unstoppable. No one's gonna take him down. No one's gonna take his stride. What is the next boss fight? Oh, it's ways away. Then it's that woman. Oh man, oh my god, that one's gonna be hard even with gang. Even with Genghis, we're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna be like, please, please. We're gonna be crossing fingers, crossing toes, because I can do that. It's weird, I know, but um, if you can cross your hairs, do that. Oh no, she is there, but she's not. Oh wait, who's that guy? Who is this? I think I've seen this guy before. He's like the rat guy. Like I think I've seen him before, but it's been such a long time ago. I don't know who he actually is. But I think he's the rat guy. I think. Like I think he has something to do with rats. Cause I think he has like a gang of rats with him, like all the time. You just see he's like rat guy. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I remember him being in the show. I could be way off on this, or I could be extremely right. Come on. If you go up against gang, you can't hang. Come on. I don't know why I'm coming up with all these kind of Genghis freaking these catchphrases for Genghis. It's as if like because again he's an unstoppable force. He's an unstoppable force. Uh, let's. Is Bebop the only one I can beef up? Probably. Oh, when can I get some? When can I get some stuff? Or get some rewards. Can I get any rewards today? Can I please? Can I get some sweet, sweet rewards? Play 5. Yeah, I don't do that right now. True friendship 7 out of 10. I don't want to do any of these goals. Seem tough. Seem a little tough. Seem a little tough. Alright, so plus I'm waiting for that sweet, delicious scripted story. You know how rare those things are popping up? Those bad boys? The scripts? Telling me what's going on in the story? I don't even know what's going on in the story anymore. That's how long those scripts pop out. I'm just enjoying them whenever I get them, but I'm like, what is even going on in this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles world? How do we get to these moments? Because I'm like, I'm not getting script. I'm not getting the backstory. I'm not getting that sweet, delicious backstory. Oh yeah. Yes. Thank goodness I started using this guy right here. This guy, luckily. I started just using him because good grief. Thank goodness I got the Genghis in here because, yeah, he is popping off like nobody's brother. He is just, he is just doing it every single day of the week. Just, I should get back into buffing down that Casey Jones. Buffing. Because he'll never call golf a dull game again. Never will. Oh, come on. Oh, look at that. Look at that spin move, though. Look at that crazy spin move that you can barely see. Look at that crazy move that he just did that you don't really get to see because there's too much going on. It's too busy right now. Look at that roll. Look at that roll. I still want Mikey to do the Wheel of Fortune spin because everyone loves Fana. They do. Take him. Yeah. That swing and move. That swing. All right. How long have I been playing for? Almost 27 minutes now. Holy moly, Batman! I'm saying that tying into the Batman versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Saw that movie, was great. You have Batman versus the Shredder. How could you not enjoy that film? Man, was that good. That was awesome. If you haven't checked that movie out somehow, find a way to watch it, and it's really enjoyable. I really liked it. There is some kind of stuff where they try to like combine some of the characters together. Like they try to combine the Batman stuff with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stuff, and it kind of comes to be cringe a little bit, just like really. But for the bulk of the time, I love the fight scenes. Like the fighting parts are probably the best. Um, and I kind of don't like how like what they do with the villains in this story. I kind of cringe at how they go and kind of do that because ultimately I've kind of either seen that in other things or uh I've kind of seen it in other things or I've just kind of like I'm still like cringing at it. It's just like ugh, that's rough. That's some real Kevin Bacon rough going on right there. That's real like Kevin Bacon rough going on. What does it mean? I don't know. Because if anything, we're doing some footloose dancing. Because we are at this big, gigantic boss fight now. So, great, we're probably going to lose. It doesn't matter if I have Genghis or not. We're probably going to lose. Okay, so definitely get Bebop out. Get April out. I think we can just go with these three. just win with just them. Let's put Donnie back in. Let's put Donnie back in. Let's put April in there. She might be our it factor or our undefined helper like thing. She might be our X factor. Whatever you want to call it, I don't know. She might be the thing that we need to defeat that wizard ash like woman. that is probably from Dimension X. Because they do that a lot. They do that whole Dimension X thing, and they're weirdly, randomly adding strange characters that are from Dimension X. Man, I don't have a lot of characters left, and yeah, and I'm just. Oh my grief. Wow. Oh my grief. My Graven! Man, and I had Genghis. He didn't last. He didn't last to the end. The wizard must have snuffed him out. She must have been like, Peekaboo, I see you. And I'm like, no. I say wizard because I don't know who she is, but I'm assuming she's a Dimension X character. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize because I haven't seen the later seasons. I haven't seen. Should probably have Super Irma in there. She'd probably be good for this. She'd probably be buff in the wood. Okay, so Splinter maybe? Let's put Splinter in. Let's see what happens. He's level 65. We don't need any it factor like characters. We just need to just keep kicking people in the face. I think that'll work. Just a boatload of kicking in the faces. I think that'll help. Just kick everyone in the face really hard. It works for Power Rangers. You know how many times they just freaking just kick people in Power Rangers, especially the early seasons. It's like you would take like on one episode, not on one hand, on one episode, you could probably count like 25 kicks. And that's in one scene. uh it's one scene. I know I want to beat this level, so let me try to beat it. So I'm going to take a couple more attempts at this one, and then if I don't get it, then I don't get it. But let's take Splinter out and let's put Lisa in. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. She's probably gonna go right away, but we're gonna just see what happens with this character. If she gets any licks in. Does she get any lickings in? Does she get any time the sun? Does she get any special? Does she get any good times? Well, it doesn't seem like she's going quite just like quickly, so. Oh, now she goes. Oh, now she goes. Come on, come on, come on. Keep doing those moves, keep doing those moves. Oh, no. Alright, 2 more times. Okay, I use Lisa. What's Bebop, maybe? No. Maybe I'll lose. Yeah, with Leo, you never know about, you never know about them, about that. Come on. Make it happen, because hopefully we got something going on here. Seems like a lot of combos coming up. And Mikey's down. Come on, Genghis. Come on, Genghis. Don't let me down. Even though this looks really suspicious. Like every other time that I've played this with this. Yeah. Genghis is not good enough for this woman. So one more time and then we're going to call it a wrap for today. Because yeah, I was kind of expecting this to happen. That like, oh, here's the one character I'm gonna have problems going up against. So I'm gonna take her. I'm gonna take Leo. Because every time I think of Leonardo, I immediately want to have the girl turtle from the next mutations. I'd rather have her in here. I would. Because I actually like her. But they'll probably never have her in this game. Because they probably won't. Because it's not part of the cartoon. They had like Tokar and Razor from the movies. Tokar and Razor. Why not have the girl turtle? Even though it's not from the cartoon, it doesn't matter. Oh, come on. Come on. Just beat him anyways. Alright, so we're seeing a consistent pattern here, so I think we need to buff the wood. We need to buff these guys. So ultimately we're gonna try to edge up our folks and then hopefully try at this again. Even with Genghis. Genghis was a non-stopping like force, but eventually he got in this level. So we're gonna call it a day here. So goodbye, everybody. Bye, everybody. Oops.